welcome back to my channel. As a lot of you guys may already know that I am Rachel. I'm currently 27 years old and I'm living in South Korea working as a kindergarten teacher. But my previous job was with Emirates Airlines working as a cabin crew. So this week I actually had a request to do a job about the requirements and things that you need to already have to be a Emirates Airlines flight attendant. So I do have a video about the Emirates Airlines application process and the open day and things like that. So I'll leave a link for that just up here. And if you're interested, please check it out. But for this video today, I'm talking about the bare minimum requirements that you need to even be eligible to attend one of these open days or group assessments. I think that's when you're specifically selected. I'm not quite sure if they do them anymore, but when I applied back in 2016, that was still a thing. They would have invite-only days and they would have the open days. But from what I know now and from just what I've heard, I think it is just open days. Okay, so first of all, to apply to be a Emirates Airlines cabin crew, you need to be at least 21 years old. If you are under 21 years old, the simple answer is you have to wait. They're not going to make any exceptions for you, and as soon as you show up and they see any form of ID, you'll be asked to leave and to wait and come back when you're 21. There's no way around this, so I'm sorry, I know wait can be frustrating, but you just simply have to wait. Okay, next you have to be able to reach for a total of 212 centimeters. As far as I know, this is so you can actually reach the overhead hat racks on the aircraft and close them. Previously, I have worked for an airline where there is no height requirement, and occasionally I would work with specifically girls. I don't think I ever flew with a male that was too small, too short, but they couldn't actually close the hat racks. So in this case, you have to close a lot of hat racks just by yourself, so you do start getting fatigued a lot easier. So as far as I am aware, this is so you will be able to reach the hat racks and some of the compartments on the aircraft. So just make sure again before you go to the Emirates open day that you can reach this height, because if you cannot reach this height, this is a non-negotiable, you will not be hired. Next, you need to be at least 160 centimeters tall. I'm going to assume this is for similar reasons, although it could also just be for aesthetics. Another requirement you need is to have finished high school or secondary education. You do have to have completed this. You do not necessarily need a university degree, but while I was flying, I did notice that majority of us had completed university. Another thing you need that is 100% a non-negotiable is you need to be fluent in English. There is I would say some leniency for people who are not native English speakers, because all of the manuals and things are in English. And obviously being an air flight attendant, there is some technical jargon, which obviously they're going to be new words that are introduced to you that you've probably never heard, such as like turbulence or decompression or like time of use or consciousness. Words like that where it's just kind of out of the ordinary, and even if you are fluent, they're not really words that you're going to hear like all of the time. So there is some leniency, I would say, in terms of testing and things. Like they can kind of like help you and kind of explain certain words in the questions. But overall, if your English level isn't very high, you were really going to have a really difficult time through training, and you may not be able to pass. So I would definitely recommend, if you're not a native English speaker, if you're not completely fluent in English, work on this before you apply. And there is also an English test to check this. And I remember my open day that the sweetest girl had an English test and she failed. So she had made it through almost the whole like 11-hour open day and failed just for the English test. I can't imagine how heartbreaking this was for her, because I was honestly heartbroken watching her. So yes, that's another thing. Please practice your English if you don't feel quite confident with it before you apply. Next, you need to have no visible tattoos. If you have a tattoo on your rib, on your collarbone, something like that, it is usually fine, but you cannot have anything on your wrist, on the back of your neck, anything that will be visible in the Emirates uniform. Now, some people still like to attend the open day or things with these tattoos and just kind of hope that people don't notice. If you do keep progressing and they notice a tattoo through the day, the recruiters will not usually be happy. They will just whisper to you, leave. yes, so to get the job, if you do have any tattoos, they do have to be removed. They will usually not have you at the open day if it's half removed. They want it fully removed, and they ask you to come back once it is fully removed. So this is, again, a really non-negotiable. They don't want tattoos that are visible in uniform. Finally, something that I do think would be beneficial that I do really want to tell you guys about is the formal photograph. I remember this being one of the strictest things when I applied for my position, where the girl was telling me, the recruiter was telling me very specific things about how they want the uniform done. So they usually want you into it like a dark colored suit with a jacket and a skirt, and you actually need to pull your suit so it's skin tight. Although the Emirates uniform is not skin tight, and they really encourage it not to be skin tight, for these photographs they do want to show your figure. They want to be able to envision how you look in your Emirates uniform. So I'm going to upload a picture of my photograph here, and this is how mine ended up. So I would recommend, if you're a female, for something similar, something that clearly shows your face, make sure your hair is black, a dark colored suit, and make sure it's tight so they can see that. My recruiter told me very specifically, you need to be able to see the gap between your hip and your arm. You want to make sure that that is visible so they can see kind of like all of your limbs clearly and you don't look like a big blob. Anyway guys, I hope this video was helpful. Please remember to check out my open day video if you're interested in any more information regarding the open day. For me it was 11 hours long, and it was a very, very hectic day, but I hope at least it can help some of you achieve your dreams to becoming an Emirates cabin crew. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you. If you have any other questions or recommendations or requests for any other videos you want me to make, I will be happy to make them. But bye guys, and good luck with Emirates.